Our art project today is inspired by mosaic art. Mosaic art is created by putting small pieces of colored glass, stone, or other materials together to create a larger image. To celebrate October, we're going to create a mosaic piece of a colorful pumpkin. I made mine very colorful, but if you like to choose one or two colors for your pumpkin, that will be fine too. Here are the materials that we need. First, we need to create the line drawing of our pumpkin. I want to create the largest pumpkin that I can on this white sheet of paper. So notice my lines, they are very close to the edge. The pumpkin should have a round shape with somewhat of a flat bottom because it's been sitting around. For the top part of the pumpkin, I'm going to draw my lines kind of wavy with different curves because there are bumps on this pumpkin. Again, my lines are very close to the edge so that I have a big pumpkin and that I don't waste a lot of my paper. Now let's cut this pumpkin out. Now we can put this pumpkin aside. We have to create our small pieces to put together onto our pumpkin. There are two ways to create the little pieces for your mosaic art. Here's the first way. You're going to take your colored paper and all you need to do is tear it up into small pieces like this. When I do it this way, I usually tear off the straight edges. The rough edges of each piece gives it a unique look. Once you have created all your little pieces, you can start assembling it together. Here is the second way you can create your pieces. Decide what kind of colors you want to use for your mosaic art, and then cut the paper into strips. Taking your scissors, you're going to use those strips to cut them into smaller pieces. Again, you can choose any colored paper you want for your pumpkin. I'm deciding to do it rainbow colors. I've decided to use the cut pieces instead of the torn pieces that I did earlier. After creating all my pieces, I just need to now glue all the pieces down. Instead of putting glue on each single piece of colored paper, I'm putting the glue onto my white pumpkin layer. Now I just need to place the little pieces onto the glue. When placing your pieces down, make sure that your pieces on the edge goes over the edge. Notice that all my pieces have some gaps in between them, so you can see that white between each of the little pieces. You may overlap some of your pieces, but try not to overlap them too much. This is just how I decided to place down my colored paper. You don't have to do it in this way. You can put it all over, mix up the colors if you would like. Now that you have all your pieces glued down, you need to wait for this glue to dry completely. While we wait for our pumpkin to dry, let's create our stem. Starting with a zigzag line at the bottom, our stem will curl up and then curve down like so. Now taking my black crayon, I'm going to give this a nice dark outline. Press down, use high pressure to create that dark and thick line around the stem. I also gave it a few lines inside the shape and then coloring it in just a little bit to create shadow. Now we cut this stem out. I forgot to mention, if you don't have green paper for your stem, use any color that you have. After the glue has completely dried, we're going to clean up our edges by cutting off all the pieces that go over the edge. Before gluing our stem on, we need to do one more thing. Taking a black crayon, we're going to create an outline for the pumpkin. I'm carefully going back and forth with my crayon to create a thick, bold outline. Careful not to be so rough because it might lift and bend the little pieces. Now we need to create some other lines within the pumpkin. Going where the dips of the line between two bumps, I'm going to create a line that goes from top to bottom that curves slightly, just like this. I want to darken that in and make sure that I do it carefully. Now I'll add a few more lines, making sure my lines are thick and dark. To finish this off, all we need to do is glue down that stem. Once you're done with this, where will you put your pumpkin? I think I will put it on the windowsill. I think it looks great. I hope you had a lot of fun doing this. I can't wait to see what yours look like, and I'll see you next time.